Hi hopefuls, I hope that you're well. This is the 7th time I'm tried to record this video. My kids are eating dinner and I'm trying so desperately to do this video. I hope that you're well, firstly. I am wearing my Wanderlust sweatshirt that I've had for forever because this month's theme is travel. KATIE-REBEKAH, I think it's safe to say I am not going to be hitting 30 countries before 30. I did get to 10 though, so I'm just going to read off my notes right here. The US, because we get to count where I'm from. Spain, Morocco, Canada, England, Wales, Scotland, China, Thailand, and Singapore. And Dave and I always talk about taking the kids back to Thailand. We love Thailand so much. And we just think it would be such a nice, long family vacation to take. In the UK, it's so much easier to be able to travel to countries. It just feels a lot more accessible just because everything is so close together, and where in the US everything is so spread out. Like Raquel, you said that you took a road trip, and KATIE-REBEKAH, I know you came to Ohio, which is like smack dab in the middle. Well, not like immediately in the middle, but like middle-ish. So you know that it's so big and that it's so expensive to fly anywhere outside of like domestic flights. So I am definitely planning to add more countries to the list, and I'm going to just save those for the end. But it's just such the US is such a big country. I have added a few states though. Maine, I get to count Maine because that's where I'm from. New Hampshire, Vermont, Mass, Connecticut, which is almost all of like the New England states, minus Rhode Island, just because I've never had to drive through Rhode Island. It's so little, you just like go around it when you're actually traveling south. New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Florida, California, Utah, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Illinois, and an honorable mention to Washington, D.C. I love Washington, D.C. I would love to take Dave there at some point. It's up there with one of my favorite cities. I think Washington, D.C. is... I have to reevaluate all my favorite cities, but Washington, D.C. is definitely up there. I've taken multiple trips to Washington, D.C. Raquel, I can understand why you don't really want to be traveling at the moment. Would just like to like be and settle and just kind of have like more of a home base. After Dave and I were traveling for those 2 months to Thailand, and then the couple weeks that we spent with my brother and sister-in-law, and then having to go back to the UK for a couple months after Dave's dad passed, it just felt like just on the road constantly. And by the end of that, I was like, I'm so ready for us to like establish or just be in one spot. Plus I did a lot of moving up before that, where I don't think I lived in an apartment or anything more than a year for like 6 years. So this is the longest place that we've ever stayed. And not that you're looking to stay somewhere for years and years, but it's just nice to know that like you are there and you don't have to pack up. Like I got so tired of packing, and I'm sure you are like so over it. It's just such a pain in my opinion. But as far as local traveling stuff goes, I feel so much more comfortable and confident in traveling local stuff with my kids and it just being me. Like I feel confident in taking them places and taking them in places and knowing when they're tired and being on some kind of like food schedule-ish. And I feel a lot better about that. And now that they're a little bit older, they can travel for longer. And I think that's going to really open up some family vacation options for us. We would really like to take a road trip to Canada. And obviously Poppy still needs to get her passport, but that could be an option for the family first trip abroad as a full family. No one's obviously been to England before, but it would be nice to pick somewhere that we can drive to and drive the kids to in a reasonable amount of time in Canada. It's close. But for countries that I would love to visit, my absolute number one country I want to go to is Iceland. It looks gorgeous. I would love to be there in the summertime because I really want to be there when they have the 24-hour daylight. And I just want to go somewhere where I can watch the sun come down, dip down, and touch the horizon and then rise again. That is probably my number one country that I want to go to, is Iceland, as far as countries I've never been to before. And as a family, or even just Dave and I, we talk a lot about going to South Africa. We have a lot of friends from South Africa, and we think that would be a good little trip to take. My kids are getting restless now. And finally, as far as like top states that I would really love to visit, I would love to go to Arizona because I've never seen the Grand Canyon. And I think that is something like I would really, really love to visit and see. And just like desert stuff. Like I've loved trees. I love where I live as far as like aesthetically, like aesthetics go and environments go. But I don't have a lot of experience in traveling around like deserts. And I think I would like that. I would like to give that more of a go. And Alaska as a family trip would be really nice. And like I said, taking the kids to Thailand is really up there for family abroad trip. But that's all for this video. It's very long, so I apologize for that. It's a bit ranty and a little rough, but I'm trying to squeeze this in while my kids eat dinner. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll meet you back here next Tuesday.